And welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host, as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
I'm doing all right, Rob. Had a really good day today. I rode in the parade with my Harley, and my niece was also in the parade, which was cool. And I think I broke my foot. That I didn't tell you offline. I don't know what I did, but my foot is really swollen and black and blue. And trying to put on my motorcycle boots was fun, but I wore them all day and my foot was doing all right. But now that I took them off, I see it. It's blowing up.
Oh, no, that's worse. I remember way back in the day when I was wrestling, I had hurt my ankle, and I mean really, really, really bad during a match. And my boot was on and it was like super tight. And I remember going, should I take this off? And I remember driving home with it and then taking it off and taking a shower. And in about 40 minutes, it blew up. I had like a softball size on my ankle.
Yeah. I think I need to put on some lotion because my toes are starting to look like the skin is stretched pretty tight.
You might want to put your foot in a bucket of ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's important.
Well, it was on my Harley today. So it was feeling, those boots, they're pretty stiff. So wearing them, actually, it helped quite a bit other than, not walking. I shouldn't walk like that. But
no, but it was keeping all the pressure on your foot.
Yeah.
But the release, that must be going around. My friend down the street broke her toe. I do not want to be anywhere. I do not want to break anything. It's been many, many, many years since I've broken anything. So
I've never broken anything. So this is kind of fun, especially, working on my feet. And then, of course, I had this parade, and my dad's 75th birthday party was yesterday that I threw him. So I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning cooking because everybody showed up around noon. And And you've
been on your feet the whole time.
Of course. Never say die,
That's why. And do you have to work tomorrow?
I don't, but I have my Christmas party for work.
Yeah.
No work till Wednesday.
You might want to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Have them x-ray it.
What are they going to do? Put a boot on me? I mean, I'm walking on it.
I mean, if it's broken, but that doesn't mean it's not bad. That just means you can walk on it. That just means you have a high pain tolerance.
I don't think I do. I'm kind of
if it's a broken foot, it's different. Like broken toes, they just tape them.
Yeah.
Not with a broken foot. With a broken foot, they fix it. They set it and put you in a cast or a walking boot or.
Yeah, I don't think I want to go to the doctors.
Yeah, probably not. But I'm telling you that if you don't, then it's not going to heal correctly. So
I hear you.
Just a little wrestler talk for you. Just thought I'd help you.
Yeah.
And the transition of that is going to be into superstitions because we talked about that the week before, but we decided to go with a different show. And it looks like your superstition is not to go to the doctor.
Yeah. No, I'm not afraid of them. I don't have time. I'm not making time.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to hear anything about your foot in a month.
We'll see. I mean, if it continues, if it doesn't get better in the next few days, which I'm hoping that it will now that I'm not going to be on the Harley or, catering a party, hopefully I'll be able to calm it down and see how it goes.
Lots of ice. Lots of ice. Lots of ice. So I found a website. It's called yourtango.com. It has 60 of the common superstitions around the world that people believe. And before we got on, I thought it was quite interesting that the first one that is on this list I read, I had no idea. And you're like, yeah, I know about that one. So this is going to be one of those shows where you're going to be like, you've heard all these stupid superstitions. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm stupid. I know like the traditional ones, like don't walk under a ladder, broken mirrors, the very common superstitions in the States. A lot of these are all over the world too. So it's going to be kind of interesting.
Let's do it.
So let's start with the first one since I had no idea and I thought it was interesting. It says, never place two mirrors opposite of one another.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never heard about it, but I guess it opens a threshold to the devil.
See, I didn't hear that, but I heard that it was it made like a portal for spirits to come through. So I don't think that's far off from the devil, but
correct. I mean, it's pretty far off. I would say that Satan and spirits are two totally different things.
I get you.
I was telling you too, because the way my apartment is set up, my bathroom mirror and my closet doors are mirrors, and they're right across from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it does create this like psycho vortex of like just a million images forever. So
the same ones.
There must be lots of spirits in my house. Because it's every day. It's crazy. Here's a funny one. I don't know if you've ever heard this one. It says, never shake hands or kiss across a threshold.
Yeah.
So one person in the house, one person outside. I didn't know that.
I didn't either, but it says that you'll become mortal. A friend or lover could become your mortal enemy if you do that.
Yeah. So I am now never going to do that again.
So now I'm wondering how many superstitions are we going to follow now that we do this stupid show on them?
Well, that's probably going to be the big thing is that a lot of people may.
Mm-hmm.
They might hear this and go, I'm not supposed to do this.
Yeah, I got to stay away from the
And we
devil.
probably won't get to all 60, but we'll go. It says, never allow a broom to touch the feet of anyone you know.
Yeah.
Didn't know that one.
One of your parents will die, it says. And I'm a hairdresser, so they're sweeping over my feet all the time.
All the time.
All the time. It's supposed to be a bad thing to do, though.
Yeah. Oh, here's something that's interesting. And this would kind of make sense, I guess, is don't go home right after a wake, which is like the viewing. The idea is that you need to keep the bad spirits away from your house. So basically take a little pit stop, shake off the bad spirits, drop them off at a coffee shop. It says that's perfect.
Right.
I mean, they need coffee, or they can come to my house and just jump in the mirrors.
That's funny.
I mean, do you have any like superstitions that you like really stick to?
No.
I will tell you, I told you last week off the air before we went. So when I played hockey in like the late 90s in a rec league. And I had heard like a bunch of different things of professionals who do crazy shit. Like if they wear a pair of socks and they keep on a winning streak, they keep wearing the same pair of socks.
That's like disgusting.
No, they'll wash them, but they don't switch socks.
Okay.
So regardless, like let's say they happen to have a big hole in them, they continue to wear them until they lose. Gotcha. Like weird stuff like that. So I got dressed. I played goalie, so I had a lot of shit I had to wear. I got dressed the exact same way every single time. No matter like how I put my socks on. I always put my right skate on first, left skate, right pad, left pad. Like I had it down to like exactly how I could get ready. And not that it was because of like winning and losing. It just became like kind of a habit and I just felt good doing it. So, but that it is very superstitious to do things like that. And I really never did anything like that wrestling. It was just, kind of weird. Right. And I'm surprised because you can get really hurt wrestling. I probably should have did a lot more superstitious shit. Who knows? So, let's see. Never stick your chopsticks straight up.
I also heard never put them down on the table. I've heard both of those things.
Really? So what do you just lay them on the plate?
I lean them maybe on something. You don't want to put them straight up and down. You don't want to put them straight down. So I kind of lean them or I place them across the plate. But they said it invites death if you keep them straight out of your food.
Yeah. Damn. There's a lot of death and evil shit.
I know. Superstitions, though, it makes sense. It's getting you to do something that you're, so because of fear, it's a fear-based thing. So,
yeah. And I'm sure most of these are very old school stuff. Like this one right here from Lithuania. It says, it's forbidden to whistle indoors because the noise is believed to summon demons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't cheer with water because you're actually wishing death on the people you're drinking with. That's
Yeah.
number 7.
What the hell?
I always drink water, so now I'm just not going to cheers anybody ever again. So
Yeah. I mean, maybe, because it says not water at all. So if you're the one and everyone else doesn't have water, it's still the same thing.
yeah. How about keep your shoes off the table? Like, that's just nasty, first of all.
Yeah. It says not only is it gross,
Yeah.
but in Britain, it is considered bad luck because it symbolizes the death of a loved one.
Again, what's up with all this death? Death.
I've been told since I was very, very, very young, don't put my feet on the table. And obviously it was because of your feet are dirty, right?
Yes.
And you're bringing in stuff that you're going to put it on the table. And, like we live in a place where there's dirt and grime and gum and poop and everything else. Yeah. So I'm sure by doing that isn't the greatest. Let's see. This one I've heard actually here, but it says in Turkey, an itchy right hand means you will come into some money, while an itchy left hand means you'll lose out big time. I've heard about itchy hands. I don't remember if it was for
I don't think it was determined which hand was what. It just, you'd get money if your hands itched.
Yeah, I've heard that since I was very young. So I think I'm sure a lot of these superstitions grew out of, things that happened like maybe the 1800s, where obviously technology and things were not as prominent. So, and then they were just carried on, right? So, because you were told things as a child and I was told certain things, and these things were been handed down forever and ever and ever. And, we know a lot of the same kind of things. So obviously these things were cross community as well. Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting to see how many of these things actually exist. Mm-hmm. This one I've never heard, but it is kind of humorous. In some coastal regions of China, it is bad luck to flip over a cooked fish, as it will lead to other ships capsizing. Probably because of the fishing off the coast. They probably just wanted to say, hey, yeah. Instead, many families will use chopsticks to pick up the meat from the bottom of the fish when they are finished with the top. So they just pick through. Interesting. In Italy, it is considered bad luck to put the bread upside down.
Yeah.
Either on a table or a basket. Wow. I'm in a lot of trouble.
Bread represents the body of Christ, and it should be treated with respect. Don't put your bread upside down, because Christ will be disrespected. Some of these are crazy.
But it does kind of make sense if you're going through the story of the Bible, right? Because he obviously made bread, and then the Catholic religion really comes out of Italy like heavy.
Yeah.
So that would actually kind of make sense.
None of these make sense, Rob. Let's just keep going.
Well, not make sense, but definitely you can see where the story comes from. Don't put your keys on the table in Sweden, because in the olden days, sex workers would put keys on the table in public areas to attract clients. Yikes.
Well, I must be attracting clients every day because I always throw mine on the table. So
I have a key ring. So mine don't go on the table, but that's funny.
That's funny.
In Spain, Tuesday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, is bad luck. Tuesday in Spanish comes from the Roman god Mars, which ties to the day of violence and bloodshed. Okay, that I know. Again, a lot of these things are probably done through long time ago, and they've just continuously been passed down. That's interesting though. But maybe you kind of have to wonder about the 13th though, because 13 has been unlucky forever.
Yeah, they don't even put 13 on a floor for a building.
Yep, to this day.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if it's outside the United States, but because
it's definitely here though.
Oh, for sure here. Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. And I've been in lots of buildings. Nope. Don't sit at a corner table. In Russia, it means bad things for your romantic life. The
You'll
unlucky person
never
who
get
comes
married
in.
if you sit on a corner at the table.
Wow. The unlucky person who comes in late. So basically what we've learned from this is be on time.
Yeah.
Because usually you get the corner table if you're behind. That actually is, I think that's more of just keeping people on time.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone's got to sit at the corner table, I'm sure.
It's the corner of the table, not a corner table.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The corner of the table. I'm sorry. Because generally it's after all the seats have been taken. They bring it to there. Don't have 7 children, according to Argentinian legend. There's superstition that the 7th son will turn into a werewolf.
Unless the president of the country adopts them.
Wow.
Craziness.
Wow. That's funny. Wear a lot of bells on your wedding day. Irish brides wear bells on their wedding dresses to wave off evil spirits that try to ruin their special day. Better hope a slimline dress can fit over 50. Wow. So they tie bells to their dress.
That's funny because I got the trike, and my cousins and my best friend's husband, they were like, oh, you got to put a bell on your bike because it's supposed to ward off like bad spirits that will come up, on the road and attach to your bike and cause accidents or some shit like that. So they say that the spirits will hear the bell, be attracted to that, and get stuck in the bowl of the bell, and you'll be safe. So that the bell thing is kind of a funny one. And I do have a bell on my bike, so I guess I do follow one superstition, but I didn't do it. They did.
But I think that the bell thing has been around for a long time. Because like you said, I think it's in a lot of things where bells are supposed to wane off spirits because they don't like the sound of the bell.
Yes.
In the Netherlands, you're not supposed to sing at the dinner table
because you're praising the devil for the food.
Wow.
That is insanity. And I sing all the freaking time and dance. My grandmother used to get mad at me and she'd slap me on the back of the head for dancing or singing at the table. So I still remember that, and I still cannot not dance or sing or do something when I'm.
I mean, I've heard a lot of things about weird shit like that, but could you imagine like in a Hispanic household where they're like, I mean,
it was a Hispanic household. My grandparents were.
My best friend is Hispanic.
Yeah.
They were always like jaw jacking and singing around the table.
Yeah.
Don't enter a room with your left foot in Spain. Brings bad luck. I heard the same thing about getting on a boat.
You don't get on a boat with your left foot either?
Nope. Always with your right foot. So I think that's an old seaman's tale. Because bad luck. Sorry.
Number 19 is don't open an umbrella inside. We always did follow that. My grandmother was like, don't open that umbrella until you get outside.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've always been told that, for whether it's bad luck or just, I think a lot of it probably came with knocking things down.
Yeah. Bad luck will rain on you if you open an umbrella inside.
It says, we're told to cause injury if opened inside, which
that makes sense. Totally.
I mean, I don't know. I have a huge umbrella. Like it's like 63 inches. Cause I don't like, even if I'm either walking my dog or I wear shorts a lot. So even in the rain, if I use an umbrella, I don't want to get super wet. So I can understand that. I couldn't even open it in my house. Like I couldn't physically. My doorway, it's bigger than my doorway to get out of my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that could never happen. Hide your thumbs when passing a graveyard in Japan. It's common practice to tuck your thumbs in while passing a graveyard to protect your parents. This is because the Japanese word for thumb loosely translates to parent finger.
Yeah, and you're protecting them from death, apparently, by holding your thumbs in.
By holding your thumbs in.
Yeah. This is one that I do, though. Knock on wood for good luck.
Yes, I think we've all been.
Yeah.
We've all been told that for a very, 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 very long time.
But this is funny. It says many churches claim to have pieces of Jesus's cross. So knocking on wood is said to bring good luck.
Ah,
it's
okay.
interesting.
Well, that's interesting.
Now I know.
Yeah. I mean, again, that would kind of make sense if you're believing in that.
Yeah.
Here's one. Don't chew gum at night. When you chew gum at night, according to Turkish legend, it turns into the flesh of the dead.
That's nasty, and I always chew gum at night.
Now, here's the funny thing, Tina. I think we're starting to flush out the superstitions that they all have to do with death.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them it's either evil spirits or death, which I guess would kind of walk hand in hand. Let's see. Don't give someone you like yellow flowers, but I thought that yellow flowers were friendship, at least on our side of the world. This is in Russia.
In Russia, it symbolizes death, separation, and infidelity. So avoid them like the plague if you want to make a good impression on someone for a first date.
Yikes.
Right?
Wow. In South Korea, do not sleep in a room with a running fan.
Oh, I do that shit all the time.
All the time. Me too. I mean,
it's believed to prolong exposure to a running fan will cause hypothermia and asphyxiation.
Wow. So you're going to choke to death or freeze to death? Yikes.
Interesting.
Let's see.
Don't put empty bottles on the ground. It says placing empty bottles on the ground is considered good luck in Russia, so don't be shy about leaving your empty beer bottles on the ground when you're done with them.
So it's a good thing. That's kind of weird.
Placing empty bottles on the ground is considered good luck, but it says don't put empty bottles on the ground.
Yeah, gotta love web pages.
Okay.
Here's one that we've all heard for years.
Yep.
Throw salt over your shoulder if you spill it. I have friends that still to this day do that.
Yeah.
To this day. And I've known them for 40 years.
It's for good luck, though. If you spill salt, you throw it over your right shoulder and you have some good fortune on your side.
Yeah. And I've seen them do it in a restaurant.
Yes.
Wild. I was just like, what are you doing? Let's see. Give a penny if you've received something sharp. Let's see. Don't give something sharp to someone if you're trying to start a relationship with. If you receive a knife, set, or scissors as a present, give the gift. Give her a coin in return. Okay, so you have to purchase. You shouldn't ever give something sharp to someone without giving a
coin
can't take
or
it
something.
For free, basically. Yeah.
I never heard that, and
I haven't either.
I was just given some scissors, and they didn't give me a coin. Can you back up there was something on 28. What was?
Well, that was the salt.
Okay. I forgot what I was going to say. Let's just go to 30.
Let's see. Don't sleep with your head facing north. According to Japanese superstition, sleeping with your head in this direction is bad luck because that's how the deceased are laid to rest. Also, all the dead are facing north in Japan.
Interesting, because my ex used to say that you always want to place your head north in your house because that's a feng shui thing.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, we're gonna. And again, bear with us, people's. Like, we're just going off this website, so I couldn't tell you how real or fake these are. Don't get too crazy with the fact checking, because who knows.
And if you're in Africa, the same superstition exists if you sleep with your head facing west. So you can have your head facing west or north.
Correct. Well,
okay.
I'm assuming if you're from that country, because, I guess if you're Japanese and you fly to Africa,
right,
you're good going west.
Yeah. Well, see, if north. in native tradition, when you pass, your spirit goes to the west. So maybe that has something to do with that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Don't play with scissors, obviously.
It will bring bad luck, according to Egyptian folklore. I always have my scissors in my hand, and I'm sure I fidget with them.
I remember always, don't run with them, but that's because of grade school, I think. Let's see. Step in dog poop with your left foot. It might seem gross or unlucky, but stepping in dog poop is actually considered good luck in France.
So when I step in dog shit, it's always by accident. So because you imagine if you do it with the wrong foot, now it's an issue.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they're saying too. It's like, I don't think that you're supposed to actually do it, but if you do and it's with your left foot, you're all right. Bird poop brings good luck. You might have heard that after an unfortunate picnic day.
I think people just say that because you got shit on. They're like, oh, but it's good luck. Yeah, it's not making me
I've kind of heard the same thing though for quite a while. I've heard that.
You know what? Or they say it's good luck if it rains on your wedding day. That was
really?
One that, yeah, I always tell people that. I don't know if it's true, but I heard it that it's good luck if it rains on your wedding day.
I also think that, like, with superstitions, you know, how many have we heard that have just been passed down through, you know, oh, my grandma used to say this like back in the day, or, you know, this brings bad juju. Yeah. You know, there's probably thousands and thousands of superstitions based on, you know, who you are, what part of the country, when you came here, you know, so many different things. It's pretty interesting to me, really, that such far-reaching beliefs are all over this planet, and it's probably based on, you know, obviously seasons, right? Because like this one right here, knitting outside can bring longer winters. If you're in Iceland, keep the knitting inside unless you want colder weather. So obviously this happened, you know, probably over and over for a couple of years. Granny was out there on the patio, you know, knitting into the winter time, and then winter went until June. And they were like, you better get Granny out there and put her inside because this shit is not going good. Right. And then the first time that they brought her inside, winter ended in March. And they were like, see, I told you, it was crazy talk. So I kind of get it.
I don't get it. All these are stupid, including this one. Owls are bad luck. Now, I know for native people, owls really do. They say they bring death. So don't use owl feathers. Don't keep anything from the bird. Like if it's, if, you know, on your regalia, because it's the bird of death. But for my tribe, it was always, it was a good sign. Because if you think about it, owls see in the dark. Like they're, and they're really good hunters. They're good at killing prey at night, and they're supposed to bring owls are supposed to be smart and have vision and knowledge and everything, but it says it'll bring death to your home if you bring it inside.
Yikes.
Terrible news.
This one, what about 37? This one's kind of funny. In Syria, they've banned yo-yos because they are believed to cause droughts.
That's exactly why you don't want a yo-yo.
Yeah, because you won't get rain.
This one's funny. Don't get your hair cut on a Tuesday because in India, it will cause bad luck. I'm glad I don't work on Tuesdays. I don't want to give anybody bad luck.
I know. That would be, could you imagine?
Right? I'm giving you bad luck because I only cut your hair on Tuesdays.
Here's one for you. Pregnant women should give in to their cravings. There's a Canadian superstition that expectant mothers who crave fish but don't eat it will end up having a baby with a fish head. Oh, man. So make sure not to deny your body what it wants. Yikes.
Yeah, my grandfather used to say, if you have a craving, you need to have it because it's something that the baby needs, and the baby will end up crabby if you don't give it what it needs when it's in the womb.
Crabby.
You'd have a crabby crying baby all the time. He would take any woman that was pregnant anywhere they wanted to go to eat whatever they wanted so that they didn't have crabby babies.
That's funny.
That was his thing.
And then here's number 40. We talked about it earlier. Don't walk under a ladder. Goes to medieval Europe. Walking under a ladder symbolizes the gallows and death. I mean,
the gallows.
Yeah, nothing like getting hung at the gallows.
Right.
Gallows pole.
Crazy.
A ladder, I kind of understand. I think a lot of it just has to do with things falling on you, probably. obviously.
Or the ladder falling on you.
Or the person falling off the ladder,
right?
Falling on you. Yeah. Here's one that kind of goes with an old show we did. Be careful of full moons.
Yeah.
Because obviously their association with
werewolves bringing bad luck, especially near hospitals.
Wow. I don't think we talked about that on the first time, but that is kind of funny. Hospitals. Yikes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Go to hospitals on Wednesdays, whether it be a major surgery or a routine checkup. Go to the hospital on a Wednesday. It means good luck and good health.
Oh, something good.
Yeah.
So go to hospitals on Wednesdays.
So if you have to have a surgery, I guess it means do it on a Wednesday. So you have a couple of days till you need to go to the doctor. So go on Wednesday.
I'll be fine by Wednesday. We'll see.
Yeah.
This is a dumb one. Don't wear red during a storm because in the Philippines, people believe that red attracts lightning. So if you don't want a nasty surprise on a rainy day, make sure you stay away from the bold shade of red.
Obviously, somebody important got struck by lightning to death and was wearing red. Those are how that starts. They're like, Aunt Betty out there got struck by lightning and she was wearing a red dress.
Mm-hmm.
Those are how those things start. A horseshoe is good luck, obviously, in many cultures. Horseshoe is incredibly lucky symbol. If you find one with an open end pointing towards you, you'll have especially great day. Yeah. And I've heard that too, is if you hang them on the wall,
hang them over a doorway.
Yeah, and it's up, right?
You have to have the open side up so that the good luck and good fortune goes into it. If you have it upside down, you're letting all the good fortune out of it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
This one has been around since
the dawn of time. No,
the Middle Ages. Black cats are bad luck.
Yes.
People believe that black cats were witches. Even worse, people thought that these cats could turn their owners into demons after 7 years.
After 7 years. I've always had black cats since I was 16 years old. As a matter of fact, my ex still has 2 of my black cats that they found me. I didn't even go out looking for them, but one is 11 and one is like 9. And good luck, bad luck. I don't get it. I don't get it. As a matter of fact, I personally kind of like black cats because they've got kind of a trippy disposition, or the ones that I've had. So I don't pay attention to that one at all.
I definitely, we've heard that since forever and ever and ever. Obviously the stigma is not great during Halloween. So lots of bad things happen to black cats. So don't get one while you're around Halloween. Not a good thing. They end up missing or they get adopted and then they get let go or whatever. Let's see.
Don't return home for something you forgot. In Latvia, it is a bad luck to return home for something you forgot. So if you forget your keys at home, tough luck. You could look into a mirror before you leave to neutralize the bad omens. What the hell?
Wow.
I always forget something and have to go back.
In funny. India, you shouldn't sneeze but once. It's bad luck. So that's why. Oh no, wait. It's bad luck to only sneeze
once. Yeah.
So you need to make sure you force out a second one.
How do you force a sneeze?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could throw some pepper in your nose. Do you know people who, speaking of sneezing, that no matter what, sneeze a certain amount of times? It's wild. The guy
I was like that for probably about 15 years. I always sneeze 3 times. It's not like that so much anymore. I kind of got a handle on my allergies, but 3 was the lucky number with me. And my mom would count 1, 2, 3, and then she'd say, "Bless you," and that's enough.
But the guy might work 3 times, no matter what, every time.
I don't do that anymore, but I did.
Yeah, I to think of it, I think I only sneezed once, so I guess I'm in trouble. I need to force one out. Bad things happen in 3s. Of course,
everybody I know says that.
Yep.
Like
death.
Yes.
Death comes in 3s.
For instance, like if one actor dies, oh, there's going to be two more. Or if a family member dies, they go in threes. You're going to hear of two more. What's funny is I don't know if I look for it, but it always seems like it happens kind of in threes.
I kind of agree.
Mm-hmm.
There's been many wrestlers who, like, big time guys, that someone will die and then a week later, 2 weeks later, another one will die. And obviously a lot of it has to do with age, but it is odd that, and it happens quite often.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too. I think with things like this, you if it was 3 people in their 20s, I would go, okay, bad things are happening.
Yeah.
But when you have someone who dies maybe at like 85, and then the next one dies and they're 94, and then the next one dies and they're 75, you kind of have to kind of throw things in going, they were just old actors, and things happen. But I will agree that kind of thing does, well, it happens.
Yep.
And again, that could just be, it's dumb luck, but definitely an interesting thing that it really kind of does happen.
Yep.
Let's see. Don't comment on a cute baby. In Thailand, you shouldn't comment on a person's cute baby, as many families believe it will take the beauty away.
Interesting.
I bet you that's coming from a lot of different countries. I bet you a lot of people believed that kind of thing where, don't say it because they're going to end up looking, like they got smacked in the head with a forklift. So I think that's just the same thing where you're like, ooh, like don't press the odds with doing stuff like that.
Yep.
What about 51? This one's kind of common.
Never sit with 13 people at the table. 13 to a table is similar to the ratio in the Last Supper. And we all know how well that story went from all the dinner guests.
Yeah, it's very true.
That's kind of silly.
I mean, again, I think it's a lot of numerology, 13, 7. A lot of these things happen to be with numbers.
Yeah.
And I think numerology is big. I was talking with my friend down the street one time about it, and she said something, and then I said something, and then we started talking about it. And I go, that's a numerology thing, and that's been like since the like dawn of time. Like ancient Greek, they had a thing with numbers and a lot of that kind of stuff. So these are things that have been around forever and ever. So that doesn't surprise me. So, and then, you start finding stories that you can go, oh, and that's probably where it came from. Something with the disciples and Jesus and bad things. Let's see. Don't step over a manhole cover. It'll break your mom's back. Same with a crack. I think those
says, well, we have worry about cracks breaking our mother's backs in Sweden. The thing is to look out for manholes. If you step on one with the letter A, this will bring you a broken heart, a much deeper pain, as we all know.
Oh, damn.
That's some madness.
I wonder if they must have different letters all over them and not like a spelling of something.
I don't even pay attention. I've probably stepped on many.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure
Yeah.
Here's a crazy one. Don't trim your nails at night. Many cultures believe that cutting your nails after sundown is a big taboo. One Japanese superstition believes it causes premature death.
Wow.
Where I'm dying early then. Because I cut my nails at night a lot. Like a lot. Most of the time. Like after a shower or something, I'll do it. So yeah, I'll probably be in a lot of trouble then. Well, here we'll try to skip ahead on these ones. If you see anything that jumps out at you, Tina, just
don't jump over kids. I think that's silly because it would curse the kid to be short forever.
That's wild. Turkish superstition. This one I've heard, but this is not because of the superstition, but I think it probably trumps a lot of superstitions, like not getting your baby sick. But it says, do not kiss babies on the lips. If you do, you will curse the baby to a lifetime of drooling.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
drooling
but I've heard
babies.
I've heard the thing with not kissing babies on the lips because of obviously getting them sick, and we have, that kind of thing. Keeping your bananas off a cruise ship. Fishermen don't bring bananas on boats as it brings bad luck to the open seas.
Or here's carry an acorn to gain immortality. If you want to be young forever, many women in ancient Britain keep acorns in their pockets to ensure a forever youthful complexion. That is just some straight bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like you said, I bet you a lot of these are pretty crazy. But I mean, I'd like to try to find out more of why, though, because like some of these are just bizarre. Like this one, don't let your purse touch the ground.
Now
in
that
Brazil.
one, my friends always tell me, you don't put your purse on the ground because you don't want your money to run out.
Yeah, it says become penniless.
Yeah.
Better work out on those arms because you can't let the tote rest on the floor.
And that's why they have purse hangers that people will hang their purse off the edge of a table. That's why. I actually don't do that because, who wants to be broke?
Yeah, but I mean, if you've heard, I mean, some of these things I've never heard of, but I think I've heard of that one before. And obviously that's why people have like, they'll put stuff on a coat rack or like it's those other things of not having things hit the floor or touch other things.
Yeah.
Let's see this one. Don't announce your last drink of the evening. In Cuba, if you declare that it's your last drink of the night, some believe that you are tempting fate and it will truly be your last drink of the night and forever. So don't tempt fate. A common way to migrate this is to knock on wood after you say it. That's pretty fun. This is my last drink. So it may be your last drink forever.
Dun, dun, dun.
Here's
don't
one.
Give clocks as gifts.
Yeah. Not only is it a lame gift, well, yeah. But according to Chinese culture, the phrase to describe giving a clock has a similar pronunciation to the phrase of attending someone's funeral. Okay, so it's similar. So it doesn't mean like a watch, but obviously a clock, you don't give it as a gift. Maybe it's like the same thing. You're tempting fate, time, like how much time you have left. Let's see. Number 60, last one on our list. Add your sugar before your coffee. If you want to start the morning off right, when making your cup of morning coffee, put the sugar in before your coffee. Get your daily dose of good luck.
Hey, there's where sugar's good for you. Finally, something.
Yeah. The funny thing is that I do that, not out of superstition. I just, I think for me, I have a very, very large cup of coffee. And so I pour my coffee into the cup and then I pour it back into the cup that I brew it in and then back into the cup, my travel cup. And then, so I really do it just so I can mix the sugar because I didn't want to stick because it's like very tall. So to get a spoon down at the bottom of that to mix up the sugar would be impossible. But I mean, obviously, when we were talking about this before, superstitions have been around since the dawn of time. And obviously by the ones that we've said, they're quite silly, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we end up believing a lot of things because of our family and how they've been passed down over and over and over again. I think some of them are fun, obviously, like getting dressed the same way every day or putting your socks or shoes on. And I bet you we do this thing and don't even know it. It's just routine. Or growing up, your parents said, okay, put your right shoe on first. And we've been doing it since we were little kids. I find them to be interesting, fun, but also you start looking at this list and very bizarre.
Yeah, I don't think it's fun anymore because all of them bring death or bad luck or death to your parents. What the kind of shit is this?
Everything seems to be about bad juju.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes them superstitious, right?
Yeah.
And most of these things are like, don't do anything like this and nothing bad will happen to you. Where we know that, our fate is fate. And
when it's your time, it's your time.
It's your time. And
yeah.
And I'm more of a believer in that and that, but but we all do the same thing. I was talking to my boss at work the other day, and I was in her doorway talking to her, and we said something, and I went, "Oh, knock on wood," and I knocked on the door. So these are things that aren't going to go away. Maybe with time, we know the new generation, because obviously we're not passing these things down as much anymore. At least, my side, probably knock on wood, you probably would know, or I'll say things like a penny for your thought, or like these sayings or things that are going to continue. But I think they're definitely going to slow down with the age of technology. I mean, it's hard enough to have your child speak with you in the same room watching television, because they watch TV with a phone in their hand, or they, so it's a much different time. I kind of hope some of these go though, because like my boy knows all like the major bad luck ones, right? Like ladders and broken mirrors, and the number 13.
They didn't even say anything about a broken mirror.
Yeah, and that one's like, I think, one of the most common.
Yeah,
ones,
7
right?
years. They'll yell it out as soon as they hear glass breaking. 7 years.
7 years of bad luck.
Yeah.
So these are the things that I think need to follow and need to go forward, because as silly as they are, they're fun. And these are the things that kind of, you remember growing up. And again, cultures have such different superstitions. Like you said, you're Native American. I'm sure there's tons of superstitions in Native American culture. And me being of European descent, there's shit tons of European superstitions.
Yeah.
So when you start looking at the reality of them, it's very humorous and very fun. Some of them, I would love to dig deeper into the real stories of how we got to some of these ones, because I'm sure a lot of them are one-offs in very small places, and the story just grew, right? Someone probably did get struck by lightning in a red dress or a red shirt, and it blew up to where it went to the next neighboring town. They're like, 12 people got struck by lightning in red. Don't wear it. And it grew. And it's like any tall tale, right? They just, it starts really tiny, and it grows and grows and grows into this big thing. And I'm sure at some point with the ladder thing, I mean, I've been hit with something off a ladder. So I'm kind of, for me, it's hard to say don't walk under a ladder, because I took a drill to the noggin. So, and four staples later, I probably shouldn't have done it. But where it got from there, I'm sure someone died during,
somebody died. Times. So now nobody could do it.
Yeah. So don't do it. And that's just how a lot of these superstitions grew is, and I hate to say it this way, is like it was a control thing.
Oh, totally.
But it was like it was probably for safety of small people. You know what I mean? Like, don't do this shit, you might die. Don't do this shit, you might die. Or like the bananas on a boat. I'm sure someone took bananas on a boat and the fucking thing sank. and
not the bananas.
And then the last thing they remember loading on it
was the bananas.
Like, I think we loaded a crate of bananas on that shit and it sank. And they were like, see, don't put it on them damn bananas. But then there's banana boats. So go figure.
There you go.
So for me, it's, I think, going over this over the last hour, it shows you that you really have to continue these fun stories in whatever culture you're in, because they make for great stories and make for, things the families remember.
See, and for me, they could all just disappear and I would be just as fine as I was yesterday.
I mean, I agree with that, but I like I said, I think it's more of the tall tale part of it.
Yeah.
It's because we in a modern society know that 9 9/10 know that all these are nonsense and none of them are real. But again, it plays for, like I said, the next time you want something good to happen, I guarantee you'll knock on a door.
Yeah. Or
So,
I still won't put my purse on the floor. So there's
yeah.
that. Even though I think it's all bullshit, I still do it. So,
but you do it because it's locked into who we are as people. So I thought it was interesting when you brought it up to do superstitions, because again, I think there's probably more in our friendship base than we think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been, I'm going to start asking people when I go to work and see if they have anything just for giggles, because it's definitely, I'm sure we're going to hear, because the guy who sits next to me at work, he's Peruvian. So I guarantee he's going to be like, oh, my dad told me this old Peruvian superstition.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So hopefully this will take the people who listen to the show, and they'll be able to go to other people and say, hey, what's your superstition?
Mm-hmm.
What's the last thing you want to say for today, since this show flew by?
Just have a good week, everybody. We're getting close to Christmas, and I noticed that everybody's starting to be out and about more, and there's a lot of aggressive drivers. So try to stay cool, enjoy your month of December, and we'll get through this as fast as we can.
That's very true. Get out there and do your shopping. Assuming that you go out and do it, because I know that that's a dated thing, but we used to go to the malls and actually do shopping. Mm-hmm. And just have a good week. I agree. I think that there's a lot of turmoil in the world, and if we can bring you a couple of funny stories, then that's what we'll do.
There you go.
And it's an opinion show, so don't get it twisted. Keep coming back every Wednesday and listening. You can check us out on all the majors: Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube Music, which is the new one. And you can check us out on YouTube as well. And check out our socials. You'll get all the updates on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, we're coming to YouTube. I've convinced my co-host over here that we'll do it at some point. So I think over the new year, you'll be able to see our very happy, smiling faces. And we're going to get, camera set up and lights, and you're going to be able to actually see us.
Yay.
So,
yay.
Yay.
Oh.
Yay.
Yay.
It's just more stuff I have to edit. Don't worry about it, Tina. We'll be all good.
That's okay.
But until next week, you guys have a good week. Tina, as always, it's a pleasure, and we'll see you later. Bye.
See ya.